Anyway, I'm going to go hit the head, but I'll be back to answer any questions that anybody may have about ideas concerning storm shelters. I'll be happy to share. KK4SIJ.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah, it's up there where there's no storms, and it's going to tell us all about storm shelters.
That is the audio.
You gotta remember now, that's Christopher. He's an authority on everything.
That's right.
Rock crusher.
Yeah.
He probably runs the big centrifuge.
He's just thinking about this on him tonight with all of us.
Damn.
I know you've been watching.
And 4XCC.
All day.
Booger, booger.
He's looking around my window. You hear it?
Your window licker. Wouldn't you like to lick my window too?
Hey, I'm just telling you guys, if I had a storm shelter, it would be like entering into a whole other world during the event of severe weather. You wouldn't even think about the fact that there's a F5 tornado right over your head.
Your wife makes you spend the money on it.
I'm talking about just a full-blown, extravagant, subterranean world you would just enter into in the event of a natural emergency.
And then did Lawson, Oklahoma, and built 4 houses out there in 1992.
I mean it. I mean, it would be a great big room, entertainment, food, supplies, pool tables, a pole for dancing, black lights, strobe lights. It'd be like you walked into a damn nightclub.
Getting ready for the big suck off.
Getting ready for the big suck. You're damn right. The big suck. Suck the whole house off the surface when you are not even thinking about it in your subterranean nightclub that you would have underneath your house.
Yeah, really. I mean, really. And the deeper he went, the more depraved he got.
I would have it stocked full of wild women and just waiting for the event of an emergency.
You don't know any wild women. You're married, man. Quit all that, but man, you are such a poser.
You don't know what I got over here. Look, just because you don't have an extravagant storm shelter packed full of wild women, don't mean you got to frown on what I got going on.
You ain't got nothing going on. You such a poser.
Or if you can't even spell poser, more or less describe its meaning.
What's it mean? P-O-Z-E-R. S-E-R.
Exactly. He can't even spell it a damn word.
P-O-S-O. Yeah, you're a poser. P-O-S-E-R. You're a poser.
I'm glad you finally got that out. Look, I'm just telling you, my storm shelter would be kick-ass.
How many teeth do you think Horace has?
Storm shelter? Yeah,
no, I'm not talking about Buffalo Bill here. We're not going to be luring a basket of goodies down to the surviving party in my subterranean storm shelter. I mean, everybody's going to be comfortable. We'll have plenty of room for everyone. We'll be watching the damn Super Bowl down there when the tornado comes across the surface. Horace is just upset because he knew that if Georgia was Tornado Alley, that that poor bastard would be sucked away along with his Antron 99s and Moonraker 4s would all be a total loss.
Don't forget about his kitty cat.
Yeah, don't forget about my pussycats, although I do live in a fortress. I live in a concrete fortress, Christopher.
How many teeth does horse have?
That hurricane, that tornado come through here, and everything else will be gone but my house. You need to just lay over there, lay down, be quiet, and shut your pie hole, which would be different.
I like cats. I got a couple of cats around here. I think my storm shelter would have a cat door, so they can just come and go as they please, and if they got scared or freaked out, they could just shoot right down their cat hole into my extravagant subterranean world.
Have one of them automatic cat boxes in there. Air breathing tubes up top. One comes over there, and you're going to get sucked out of that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it would be state of the art, man. It would like I said a few minutes ago, it'd have like a generator, running water, full bathroom, toilet, shower, plenty of ventilation. It would have its own HVAC system. Like I said, if a tornado was to come by, we could all retreat down to my badass subterranean this world, We would have ham radio down there. People like Oris can be out here just, talking shit over the radio while there's a tornado overhead. It would be great.
KF4BMC 420. We can pass traffic. We can hold nets.
Oh, absolutely. The possibilities would be endless, man. I mean, it'd be fully loaded, state-of-the-art storm shelter.
Man, how could you afford something like that? You can't even afford a state-of-the-art ham station.
Just remember that if you dump on the air, it's the equivalent of pooping next to a fire hydrant in a phone booth on a busy street corner at noon on a Friday afternoon in Athens, Georgia.
Maybe we can get real creative and have the toilet set up to where it kind of flushes out through the surface. So if we time it correctly, if somebody has to take a big shish, they could do it when the tornado is right overhead, and the vacuum would just pull all the waste right on out.
12-inch platform, pop it out the front of the phone booth, and you just have to time it for when the storm is fixing to suck it up. Yeah, you just have it run it right out on the sidewalk,
Yeah, kind of like one of those things when you go through like a bank teller drive-through. You get that capsule you put in there, it just sucks it up through the ceiling, and then it brings back your money.
Is there a UN embassy or something in California?
I have no idea. There's probably like a government-sponsored like feces management organization in California. I wouldn't be surprised. You see so much shit on the streets around that place. Oh man, what a nasty place, California. Well, not the state as a whole, but San Francisco especially. Las Vegas. Oh my gosh, what a shithole.
Solo didn't do nothing, people.
KK4SIJ, just kind of moving on from the storm shelters. I think you would need like a some kind of like something like biological, like airtight house to live in if you lived in like California, especially around San Francisco, just to keep any kind of like airborne this fecal-based viruses from like entering like in and out of your home. It's disgusting.
I got you. If you're fast jerking off in front of them while they're running around screaming, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." If there is a phone booth in a storm cellar. I'm from Oklahoma, and I'll tell you what's in my storm shelter. There's Zachary's, Nintendo's, and Jackoff magazines. And if you ain't got a phone booth in your storm cellar, you ain't walking out.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what it's like living on the West Coast, but I'm not really sure how well. I know it's kind of like it's just normal out there, you know. It's just a part of their environment. It's their culture out there, let's say. I mean, California today, especially in the big cities, is like a whole other world. It's like an alien world when you go to visit. But I'm not sure I would react the same as the locals in San Francisco if I was walking down the street and all of a sudden somebody just like was to drop their pants and just take a big shish like right on the sidewalk in front of me, like, and or locals just walk right by like, oh, it's no big deal. Or if you're dining outside of a restaurant on the patio, like some guy just walks by and like shits right on the sidewalk beside your dinner table and they don't think nothing of it. I'm not really sure if that would fare well with me. Over.
I think it fares well for them because they're Democrats and they're voting for that shit out there. And I think the best thing to do is just napalm the entire West Coast seaboard area, the whole fucking length of it. Napalm the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, I think that would be disgusting, really. Just be walking down the street, you know, just enjoying a beautiful afternoon and a nice, pretty city, and all of a sudden this guy is just like, you know, like right at your feet, and it's like, what the hell?
It just needs to be burned. The whole fucking thing needs to be nuked. The whole San Francisco and all of California just needs to be burned.
I love the smell of fresh napalm in the morning.
I bet it stinks too. And I mean, it's very unfortunate. It really is. I'm not trying to make a stab here, but the homeless is just out of this world in California, and other cities as well. I'm not just trying to single out California, but the homeless population, I'm just using California as an example, is just at an all-time high. I mean, there's just so many homeless people out there, and it's very, very sad. But I mean, most of those people are nose blind. They don't smell the shish. But for somebody like me on the East Coast, was to visit California and walk through a very, very dense, homeless community, let's say, whether it's on the streets or in the alleyways, whatever, it would probably smell like shish. Like a big pile of shish. It would. And just think, all those billions of dollars that were just, sending away to Ukraine to fight a proxy war with Russia, if you could just maybe retain maybe 1/4 of that amount and apply it towards our veterans and our homeless that are on the streets inside of our own nation, man, it would be very, very beneficial. It would. But instead, we're just wasting it away, helping another country with their damn problems.
That is President Joe Biden's fault and his entire administration and every single person that voted for that fuck's fault.
And the KK4SIJ, the most honest and hated station in the nation. Kilo 4 Sugar India Japan. Just telling you like it is and speaking my mind. Petersburg, Virginia.
For a gallon of milk and all this bullshit that's going on wasn't there. This has all been created by Mr. Bedwet Biden.
Oh yeah. I wonder if stepping in dog shish would be like an equivalent to stepping in human shish. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've never stepped in a pile of human shish on the sidewalk, but I've stepped in a few piles of dog shish before. I wonder if it would feel the same. Over.
Personally, if I had to choose one of the two, I think I'd take the dog shit over the human feces. I mean, there's all kinds of horribleness in humans carry, not to mention AIDS and all the disease and bullshit. It's definitely just filthy out there. I tell you, it'd be best interest in America if we just chiseled the entire state of California off the continent here and out to the ocean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just completely sever ties, right? I mean, it would go right on down to 49 states, no problem. Chisel it completely off. I mean, sever all ties, all commerce, all grid, all networking, population, just sever cold turkey, cut the whole state in all of its entirety right off this nation.
It's like hanging paper off a turd.
Well, that's something they know well, is turds in California.
We got to pinch one off.
What a nasty place, man. At least in the cities. I know California has a lot of pretty countryside. Like Yosemite National Park is a really pretty place to visit. Driving the West Coast, big cliffs, crashing Pacific Ocean. I mean, it could be lots of nice sights out there, lots of nice scenery, but the cities, man, the people, the leadership is just disgusting in the urban areas, especially in the poverty-stricken cities and neighborhoods and suburbia of California.
They're all doing it on purpose, Chris. This is not done by accident. Absolutely, the Democrat, the liberal, and the woke mindset that has destroyed that beautiful state. It's not California's fault itself. I mean, it's a beautiful state, or at least it was. My sister lives in LA. It has been there for 25 years. She said it was drastically changed from the time that she first arrived in the 90s to now. But it's because of leadership. It's because of lack of whatever, I'm not sure. It's almost a dose of what's going through this entire country. Woke bullshit and different ideology is not going to work out. This is K5, RD.
Yeah, KK4SIJ. Yeah, it's terrible. But look, California's not alone. Let's look at all the Democratic ran cities. Baltimore, Maryland. Detroit, Michigan. St. Louis, what's another one? California is another one. Washington State. Oh my gosh. Washington, I think Walmart has completely withdrew from the state of Washington.
I just saw on the nightly news that Target has closed 9 of their stores somewhere, either Washington or Oregon. They're withdrawing stores out of those places because of the theft and the crime.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them one damn bit. And they all want to point their fingers at somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. It's somebody else's fault. It's just nobody wants to ever take any accountability for their own actions, and that includes amateur radio. It does. I said it. Amateur radio. But yeah, Target just said, the hell with this. Walmart's another one, and they're not alone. Those are just the big businesses, but a lot of the small businesses as well. You guys remember a couple years ago when they completely isolated this one part of the city and they named it Chaz? Y'all remember that?
Where was that at?
It was in the state of Washington, when all the idiots had completely taken over a part of the city of Seattle, I think it was, and they named it Chaz. Like they tried to establish their own government. But anyway, and eventually it just kind of petered out. But y'all remember hearing about that on the news?
possibly.
I have no idea what
That's
you're
not something
talking
I would,
about.
you know, tend to remember, but it sounds like something that would happen around there.
KF4BNC, Clueless Studio. Studio C, Clueless.
KK4SIJ. Yeah, just, oh man, I can't believe I never saw that. It was all over the internet for a while. You can probably still look it up on the internet. There's some YouTube videos about it. But they called it Chaz. Like, that was like the city of Chaz. And it was like I don't know, like a 5 or 6 block, 8 to 10 block radius maybe, where like all these damn liberals and just fucking retards came in there, and they completely shut down the city, and they tried to establish like their own government, and the state of Washington allowed it to happen, and they claimed it as the city of Chaz. Look it up on the internet. There's still plenty of information there, man. What a shit show that was. A total nation embarrassment delivered to you by the state of Washington. It was disgusting. KK4SIJ.
Comment.
Come on in.
Yeah, Chris, I'll be twice. Just a real quick thing. You fits right in what you're saying. United States, third highest murder rate in the world. If you remove Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, and Philadelphia, all Democratic run, all strict non-gun states, we will drop to 189 out of 193. How's that for a headliner? Over.
Yeah, it's not surprising at all.
What were the cities that you named?
Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, and Philadelphia. If you drop those out, all democratically run, all anti-gun cities, then we drop from third highest in the United States to 189th. So that shows you how the Democrats are running things. Over.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I had to hear the cities again, and yeah, you're right. All Democratic ran cities. Oh man. Imagine if aliens actually came down to Earth. I mean, there's like this big, promotion and push to believe in aliens, all this alien talk here lately. But if aliens actually came down here, like I'm telling you right now, like if one landed in my front yard and said, asked me take me to your leader, boy, would that be an embarrassment. Imagine that. Hey, here he is right here. Our president, our nation's leader, Joe Biden. Man, I'd be embarrassed.
Old bedwetting Biden.
KK4SIJ. It's official, guys. The United States is the laughing stock of the world.
Yeah, but we're paying for it.
Much longer of him left, hopefully.
Oh yeah, you're paying right out of your damn pocket. You're not alone. Me, you, and everybody else on the air, who are tax-paying citizens anyway. Who's going to be the next president of the United States? That's the big question.
Mr. T.
I hope so. I can't wait to see how all these damn, bogus criminal charges are going to play out. I like how they keep pushing it off and setting court dates just before the presidential election. And now there's this threat out there that COVID's coming back. Man, the timing is impeccable.
He really is. And they think that a bunch of people are going to go for this bullshit. And I don't know the asses out there that will. It's all these blue-haired freaks running around. They'll believe all that shit. I've seen some of them wearing their masks already. Embarrassing. But I'll tell you, the majority of the country is probably tired of it by now and ready to go a different direction. Because what is happening now is not working out for you and me or anyone else for that matter. I don't know about y'all, but my life, my living experiences the past few years have been horrible just because of the price of things have skyrocketed, and it's making things extremely difficult.
Not only that, but I'm a professional trim carpenter, and I do custom cabinets and woodwork on brand new homes. And since the borders have been opened up with the influx of illegal aliens coming in, they flood the construction jobs, and they do shoddy work for a quarter of the price, and it's hard to compete with people like that. And I feel bad for the people that do pay for them to do work on their houses and whatnot, because they just don't, they think they're getting a good deal, and what they're really getting is shoddy work, and I usually have to go back and fix. But anyways, that's my 2 cents about it.
Yeah, I understand. I got my hands in some lucrative side hustles as well, let's say, and I get calls occasionally, and they're claiming, I give them a price on something, they claim that they can get it done cheaper through, whoever, whatever. I'm like, that's fine, and I'll tell them all the same thing. I'm like, I totally understand. You're looking for value, I offer quality. So if that's what you're after, then you can't afford me. I cost too much for you, where you're looking for value and I offer quality, and that's pretty much how I end the phone call.
Absolutely, but it's a little bit tough out there right now. But I think that with the next election coming next year, things are going to change, because people are tired of their personal situation, and that this administration has caused, and they may not want to own up to it, but I think it's pretty apparent whose fault it is.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see how all these damn charges turn out there. That's what I'm most excited about. How all these damn indictments are going to come down. Which ones are going to actually stick, and how many of them are going to just be dismissed, which will probably be 99.9% of them ever.
Honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think everything's going to be dropped, just like with all the other accusations. The Russian collusion, the documents from Mar-a-Lago. None of that, nothing ever came of any of that. And to tell you the truth, I don't think anything's going to come of this either. I think they're just doing it because they're scared of him. They're very scared of him.
You know how many politicians and just people in government that I've heard about being investigated? So damn many of them, man. Every day somebody comes out, hey, such and such is being investigated. This person's under investigation. I've been hearing it for like almost a decade now. This president's under investigation. Hillary's under investigation. Obama, Trump, Biden, Hunter, and everybody's under investigation, but you don't never really hear nothing come of it, Everybody's under investigation. Everybody deserves to go to jail, but that's as far as it ever goes. It just seems like it's all just based off public opinion and the lack of actual facts, evidence, and real information. It's all just horse shit. Over.
That's exactly what it is.
I think it's all just media influence to persuade the minds of voters. There you have it. I said it.
Want to hear about a quick New Jersey indictment?
Yeah, might as well. It's be one of hundreds of indictments out there. KK4SLJ.
WB2Y. So we got this Menendez clown in New Jersey whose net worth was about $1.5 million when he came into office. He's now worth well over $200 million. They raided his house. It's just to show he's a Democrat. So they're just going to do that to say, oh, see, we're after the Democrats too. We're not just persecuting Republicans. Over.
Yeah, well, you know as well as I do, that's just a show and sell. That's all it is, a show and sell show. Just to try to make it look like the judicial system is working all across the board.
I'm going to go let the dogs out and take a break. I'll be back. This is K5RZB.
All right, man. Come on back anytime. We'll be around. At least I'll be in here for just a little bit longer. Then I'm probably going to shut it down. KK4SIJ. Anybody else? Come on in with your opinion.
Hey, Chris, I don't hear anything. I got something if nobody else wants to get in on this. Over.
Yeah, go ahead, man. The floor is yours. Let way.
Yeah, two subjects I brought up before, but if you're interested, like you mentioned my favorite subject, aliens, Google Dr. John Mack, sometimes common spelling, M-A-C-K. He was the head of psychiatry at Harvard. His girlfriend said that she was being abducted by aliens, and he said, yeah, because you're crazy and anybody else. He did a very in-depth investigation, and guess what? They were right.
That she was actually being probed by aliens, or she was just crazy?
No, he did a very in-depth study, and if you Google him, he's very available on the internet. He's now deceased, M-A-C-K, but he's the most intelligent person I've ever seen involved in the subject. He just methodically took on the subject, analyzed many people. Harvard tried to fire him. He got one of the best lawyers in the United States, and they just blew Harvard away, even though Harvard's a law institution, and he came up on top of it, and he said the facts are there. There's nothing to dispute, but if you want to look into him, M-A-C-K, John Mack, over.
Maybe it all comes back to influence, you know. Maybe it was a bottle of date rape drugs, alien costumes, and butt plugs that made her wake up thinking that she was abducted by aliens. Over?
Now, we're talking about he analyzed well over 100 people at regression, and these people under regression mostly, some from conscious memory, told the exact same stories about what was done to them, even though at that time there wasn't much out there. So, I mean, if you're interested, if not, that's my specialty, but if somebody doesn't want to look into it, fine, because we got much more pressing problems, like you and I are paying more and more. I would look at least a 15 to 17% cut in my buying power in the last year. That's a much more pressing problem. Over.
Oh yeah, if you add up the amount of taxes that you're paying annually, excuse me, I'm yawning. If you add up the amount of annual federal taxes that you're paying, and then you kind of deduct that from your annual gross and divide it by 12 months throughout the year, you'll discover that you're basically working for anywhere between 1 to 3 months a year for free. You're working.
Yeah, I'm not sure of my figures. I've heard it as bad as early May, but I'm not sure of my information. Over.
Well, it's just simple math, really. Especially for the working class people. I mean, some guys are still working like myself. I mean, I figure up what I gross annually, and then I subtract my federal taxes, and then I divide it by 12 months. What that totals up to, it kind of shows me that I'm working for free, basically, for a couple months out the year. I'm just working for free.
Yeah, just we got the same circus going on in New York City. The mayor of New York City, who's a total clown, they show him in there. Oh, just keep bringing him in. Today he was on our major talk station, WABC, begging, we can't take any more. So now their government has turned around. They fly him into 48 different cities, straight from Venezuela, right into 48 cities, and we pay the bill. Over.
Oh, I'm sure. Wasn't there a story that just came out recently about, what was it? It was something about American prisoners overseas, and they were demanding access to like $6 billion in seized oil or petroleum funding, and so we were able to release that in exchange for those prisoners. That was a recent story.
I'm not following that. I know what you mean, but I didn't delve into that story. But I think that's just high politics and billions of things going on behind the scenes that you and I aren't privileged to over.
Well, you know who Brittany Griner is, right?
The name sounds familiar, but I'm not really familiar.
Yeah, it was that female basketball player that took a vacation or something over to Russia, and then she got caught in possession of drugs, and then so Russia law enforcement and put her in incarceration for like a year until the United States was able to negotiate her release, and we were able to negotiate with the foreign government and do a prisoner exchange for who we were holding was one of Russia's main generals or something like that. I don't know all the details for that, but we gave up him for her.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar now. I just didn't mention it. I followed the story on the news, but to me that's something that's above my head. There's so much going on behind the scenes with that over.
Well, I mean, where I'm getting at with this is, it's good to know that if I go over to Europe or some foreign country or overseas somewhere, and I get in trouble, that I can rely on my government to bail me out in exchange for some other foreign prisoner that we may have in our custody. Ever?
Let me get the fact. The probability of happening to you as a tourist, you do the math. It's got to be 100 million to 1 over.
Well, why not? I mean, if it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander, over.
You're not a gay basketball player or nothing. We're going to leave you there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're right. I'm not. But it just goes to show, man. It really does. It just goes to show that for a second there, I was all for it because it made me feel like my country would bail me out if I found myself in trouble with law and a foreign government. But the reality of it is, they wouldn't help my ass, not one bit. They would if it was me instead of Brittany Griner, they would leave me to rot in a Russian prison. They would never even know that the situation even took place for starters, ever.
Right. I didn't mean, I was just cruising by the frequency. I didn't mean to, burst your bubble. It's just being honest, I'm a realist. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, join the conversation.
Yeah, no, you're not interrupting a damn thing, man. This is the no holds barred frequency right here. You come on in, you say what's on your mind, and if we can't take the heat, we'll get out the kitchen.
I'm sure you guys can take the heat. I've heard this before. N2DDX. All right, guys. I'll be back in a few.
All right. KK4SJ.
Be quiet.
I'll even give out my call sign. I'm not afraid of it up here.
Well, you are one of the few, my man. Welcome aboard. A whole lot of them out here that seem to think differ, or maybe they just don't have a damn call sign at all, I guess.
Yeah, man. It's always fun. All right, guys. You guys keep talking. Yeah, man. Maybe me and this other guy will come get you, but I don't think the government will.
Well, I'll leave you with this comment right here. If I ever find myself in trouble visiting a foreign country, I am going to identify as a gay, sports player, whatever it is. I'll make up something, Let's say I am a gay man who is a champion at playing cornhole. Okay? How fitting was that, right?
Playing cornhole.
Oh, what a match made in heaven.
The right sport.
I am a gay champion at cornholing. So I demand prisoner exchange or my government to work out some sort of negotiation for my release. Over.
Over. All right, guys. Have a good night. N2DDX.
I mean, I feel like I'm in a position now that I can identify as whatever I want, right? I wish my mortgage would identify as student loan forgiveness. That would be fantastic.
comments about that, but I can't say them on the air, so good luck with that. I'm just going to pay and pay and pay, so does my future not look too bright unless Trump gets in over?
Sure, you can say it. You have a right to free speech. You are in the United States of America, after all.
Yeah, just so long as nobody's listening, you can say whatever you want, over.
I am here to proudly exercise my right, and that's the freedom to say whatever's on my mind. KK4SIJ.
No, you exercise your privilege to be on this frequency that you worked hard to attain. You exercise your right under the First Amendment, under the privilege. Now, you see the difference?
Yeah, well, there's always going to be some strings attached to it. You know, I guess in a sense you're right. I mean, I can say whatever I want to say, but however, there may be some repercussions of my choice words. Over?
Yeah, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, and you can't go to the mall with a megahorn and say anything like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a double-edged sword, really. You know, they talk about freedom of speech, but then when you exercise your freedom of speech, you suffer the consequences of doing such. So, do you really have the freedom to speak freely, or to say what's on your mind nowadays? Doesn't really sound like it.
Should you comment on that?
Yeah, just shoot it.
I called into biggest talk station in New Jersey, 101, and I happened to know one of the secretaries there, so they got on 9/11, so I described how 6 buildings went down at 8:57. They turned to dust, and then I asked her, called her. I said, why did you cut that? I mean, and she said, oh, we didn't cut it. So in other words, Big Brother is also monitoring the big talk shows. That was pretty shocking, over.
KK4SIJ. There's a pretty good book out. My wife read it not too long ago. It's called 1984, I think it is. And it's all about Big Brother.
Yeah, 4BMC, George Orwell, 1984. Big Brother. What's 2 plus 2? What does Big Brother want me to say 2 plus 2 is?
Big Brother says you better not say 4.
Big Brother says 2 plus 2 is whatever Big Brother says it is.
Yeah, that was a book been around a long time. When I was in high school a million years ago, I read that book, and I said, I never read another book after that.
I read it. I've read Animal Farm, 1984. Yeah, a couple other ones.
Yeah, Animal Farm was another one. We don't have that one here in our little mini library, but I have heard of that title.
I actually had to find it on eBay. Catcher in the Rye. I had to find them on eBay and order them. I couldn't find them at the library. So I ordered them offline. 1984, they turned into a movie, but books are always better than the movies. KF4BMC 420.
KK4SIJ.
And Chris, to go back to that thing you were saying in Washington, let me see if I got it here. That was amazing. I followed that. It was just unbelievable. They had this thing. They set up their own mini city. It got so bad that people that were sick or injured or knifed, they wouldn't let the ambulances to help them. They were self-defeating prophecy, over.
Yeah, what a joke that was, man. It was such a joke. It was. I'm surprised that the government let it go as long as they did, really. I mean, if it were me and if I could make a call on it, I would say go in, full force, take them all down, and just a show of force to demonstrate that we're not going to just put up with this kind of behavior. We're not. It's ridiculous, man. It really was. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to move to Iceland, but my wife chickened out. They had a 1-second riot. These college kids, I guess they got all partied up and stuff, and they smashed the window for a jewelry store. And I don't like police brutality, but the cops in plain English went in and beat the crap out of them. They busted them up. And the president of Iceland said that's the first and last riot we'll ever have. Over.
Yeah. Yeah, you got guys out here that are protesting, blocking highways. Like, what in the hell are y'all trying to achieve? A lawsuit, maybe. That's about it. For getting hit by a damn vehicle because you want to wander out in the middle of the interstate trying to block traffic for your protest. People just money hungry, on the hunt for a handout.
You can protest all you want, but when you break the window of a jewelry store and start taking the jewelry, they drop the hammer on them. That was the last time that happened. Over.
KK4SIJ. Seems to be a lot of that happening lately, actually. I've seen a lot of videos out there on the internet where people are just running in like a small team of guys, hoodies on, masks on, and going to these shopping malls and just grabbing like whatever they can get their hands on. Like going to these like Chanel outlets, these like designer shoes, designer purse, designer clothes outlets in these shopping malls and taking whatever they get their hands on and then just running out the mall with it. It's ridiculous. And you know what makes me cringe even more? It's not the fact that the people are doing it. It's that everybody's just standing around watching and too busy filming with their damn cell phones to actually stand up to it and do something about it. They just want to film, record, and make their damn comments for social media, and that's as far as it goes.
So you and I both have police background. I was hired by 3 police departments, but I chose to go to power plants. The thing is, if you're a bystander, there is a somewhat of a probability if you try and grab one of these people, you're going to get seriously hurt, stabbed, or shot. Over.
I mean, you're right. That is the chance. But I mean, when does it stop? When do people decide to stop being scared and to stand up for what they believe is right? When will that come back around?
When enough people get pissed off enough to stand up. When enough people get pissed off enough to stand up.
Yeah, come on in, we copy you.
Playing a game. If we all stand up, we flip the table.
Hey, Chris?
I think we should start arming people in our schools and in our malls, and I bet you if I were to run like a Louis Vuitton outlet, whatever, all right, let's just make an example here, and I had a sign like right out front that stated, this store is protected by multiple employees with the sidearms or whatever it is. I bet you they would think twice about it. They would. They'd be like, wait a minute. Look at this sign right here. It says that the personnel in this store are armed. We might not want to go in there and just start grabbing purses and shit like that. I'm just saying. Maybe we'll go to this other store over here, or this store has a sign that says it's a gun-free zone. Oh man, I don't have to worry if I go on that one because that one's a gun-free zone. But this store over here says that their personnel is armed. All right, well, we're going to leave them alone, and we're going to go over here and rob the gun-free zone store.
I'm not a member of the BLM. I'm a member of the NLM.
Okay for us, anyway, changing gears here. Here's another good one to talk about. How about the, I hope there's nobody on 7200 tonight that believes that the Earth is flat, over.
That's the most ridiculous discussion. I love talk shows, but anybody that can pursue that one, they got to have a few bolts at the head of their head missing, over.
If the Earth was flat, and I can prove this in one sentence, if the Earth was flat, the cats would have pushed everything off of it by now.
I saw this internet post the other day, guys, and it was hilarious too. It said, flat, and I quote, Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
Yeah, he kind of contradicted himself.
That's funny. Yeah, 4BMC 30.
Yeah, there was like it was an internet site. It was I think it was a Facebook group actually, and they were arguing about the Flat Earth Society, and then one guy come in there and said that the Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe, and maybe it was just a pun. I don't know, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if somebody genuinely wrote that and was very sincere when they made the statement. Over.
That was a kick in the balls.
Yeah, I got a shameless quick comment.
Come on.
Right now, this is well researched. Ivermectin is a total cure for COVID. I've got researched this 10,000 different ways. Ivermectin is a total cure for COVID. You can go to an arthritis doctor and get HCl, which is if you take one pill a day, 200 milligrams, you will not get COVID. Or if you get a slight case of it, you can take 400 milligrams a day. It's prescribed by arthritis doctors. There's 10 million people on it, including myself. I just wanted to put out that shameless commercial. These two drugs work, over.
Yeah, did you remember, that reminds me, a couple years ago, at like the peak of the COVID BS, they had a bunch of doctors come forth and said that, if I'm not, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but hydrochloroquine. Again, I might not be pronouncing that correctly, but hydrochloroquine, anyway, you may have heard it before, but was also believed to be like a cure for COVID at the time.
That is correct. You're pronouncing it right. Taken early on, it will definitely knock you out COVID. You can take 400 milligrams a day all your life. I've been taking it for 5 years. And the ivermectin works much better. Ivermectin is available from several online pharmacies. But if you have older people that get COVID, this will definitely help them out tremendously, over.
Silver 2, colloidal silver, 500 ppms or better, heavy doses.
I understand there's some variables to it, you know. Not everybody's immune systems are all the same, but some even said just to go as far as just vitamins. A fruit that produces a lot of vitamins, you know, vitamin C, things of that nature. Drinking a lot of orange juice can also help ward off the COVID virus.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. Everybody's immune system's different, but I can expand this a little. This is my area of research, but I don't want to beat it to death. If you want, I could go on for another 30 seconds, over.
My man, you don't need my permission, so speak freely.
Well, we had a large gathering last Christmas, and there were about 45 of us now. There were 8 of us banned to the garage because we didn't get our vaccinations. They passed around this cute 3-year-old girl who was wreathing with COVID. I mean, she was just spitting all over everybody. The people that had 4 or 5 boosters end up in intensive care. The people that had a couple of shots just got sick. 8 of us in the garage who also closely handled the girl. None of us got sick, over.
Yeah, nobody in my family, well, I can't say family, but in my household has received the COVID vaccination. I strongly opposed it. I'm just willing to take my chances, and so far so good. Me, my wife, both my kids everybody is just as healthy as a damn tick on a hound dog and have survived the damn COVID era thus far.
Yeah, well, the HCL, abbreviated, that stuff works, but you got to get it early on. The ivermectin will knock it out even when you're pretty sick. Ivermectin's a total cure for COVID. Over.
Yeah. All right, well, I've had my fun. I'm being summoned to retire for the evening. So I've enjoyed the conversation with you guys. Y'all have a good evening. And we'll holler at y'all another time. KK4SIJ will be QRT.
All right, good evening, Chris. I was monitoring the background, but when you're on, I can't resist throwing in my 2 cents. Have a good evening, over.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Like I said, I welcome it. I do. I welcome for anybody out here to freely express themselves and opinions. I welcome it. KK4SIJ, have a good evening. BNC, we'll catch you later.
10-4, right about now.
Kilowatt 3, Mike Juliet Zulu.
Hey, come on in.
Yeah, this is Mike here in Pennsylvania, just tuning by, heard some chatter and figured I'd say hello.
Yeah, we just solved all the world's problems. WHOI is listening.
Good to know that the world is a safer place. I can sleep good tonight. Awesome. Got a little bit of atmospheric noise going on tonight, jumping up to around 5-ish.
Noisy band.
Well, you're coming back 5-9, so you're making it real good. I'm here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm in Central Jersey. Hey, it's Chicago.
Good evening, KFAGT.
Let me throw out today's headlines, see if anybody bites on it. United States has the third highest murder rate in the world. If you remove Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, and Philadelphia, now we drop to 189 out of 193. All Democratic-run cities, all cities where you cannot have a gun. Isn't that amazing?
It's a big deal. Spokane, Washington.
What SDR are you good on? Because you're like right in the noise, over.